I think you know everybody here. We have the president of the alumni, Mark Bailey, past president, Mario Luongo, our current secretary, Jamie Clayton, and past president, Frank Roberto. So we just thought we'd start off and ask some questions. And one of the questions, obviously, is the status of SFU football in terms of recruitment, in terms of the season, in terms of what's happening right now, in terms of academics. If you kind of could give us information, that'd be great.
Well, you just gave me about a bunch of questions, but we're gonna go ahead and start with that. I'll start with what's going on the day-to-day right now.
Okay.
We've been training the last 6 to going on 7 weeks per se here and there. Things have been really well. Our guys are really excited about getting back in the weight room. Our guys are really excited about the agility drills and the on-field training we're doing. But I think most of all, our guys are really excited about how we've been caring about the safety measures and protocols that we have in place to do what we want to do as far as playing football. You know, we've had a few scares and minor scares like any program will have, but I think with the gentlemen that I've hired and our coaching staff, we've took a real, we've really dug into caring about what the kids are thinking, what the kids are saying, and most of all, how the kids are feeling. So I think it's been a plus on all roads. You know, both sides are meeting in the middle. We're not having that where we don't kind of know what the vibe is of our team. We know what our heartbeat of our team is right now. And I think right now it's just been new for everybody because even though we're going through this on a day-to-day basis, a lot of our kids are just really getting to know each other and meet each other going on, a month and a half. So as far as what we're doing, things are going really well. We're excited to get spring ball started, fall ball started, but the spring type of practice started here on Saturday. So we're really excited about that. Our guys are really excited about that. And, we're really happy that we're getting the chance and the opportunity really with administration to be able to pull this off because it's, we're really undermanned as far as coaches go, but they have believed in us that we can, operate this project that we're trying to do. And, again, we're just really excited that we're going to get the opportunity to put pads on and bang around for 16 extra practices where we're the only one in Canada, period, that's going to get that opportunity. So it's only going to get our team better. It's only going to get us stronger. It's only going to get us closer together. And we're just really excited that I'm really excited that I got new coaches that are going to get a chance to really evaluate what we have on this team. It's easy to see people looking real sweet and smooth when you're practicing in shorts and shirts and all that, but it's a whole different monster when you put those shoulder pads on and you get to banging around. You're going to find out who's a really dog and who's a puppy and who's been just doing a lot of chirping. So, Coach Erdman, you can probably answer some of that. Yeah.
Can I just before you speak, Coach Jerome, you talked about 16 practices. Do you have a schedule that we can send out to our alumni? And also, how often have you been having these, I'll say, informal practices with your players without the pads, obviously? 2-3 times a week?
Yeah, we've been going on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So we've been doing this for about a good, I don't know, Coach Erdman, what'd you say, about a good 4 weeks, 6 weeks?
Yes, sir. It's Monday, Wednesday, we've got some good work in. We've got our practices are a conditioning aspect, and plus we get it's an individual period. So we get to break down with each individual group and we get to work them. So it's been really, really productive.
Yeah. And to answer that question about the schedule, we can get you guys out of schedule. Only thing is when we do send you guys out of schedule, we still can't have people come up to practice until you've done the COVID stuff. If in case anybody wants to come, because we want to show too, but we're dealing with so much stuff off the field, all the COVID stuff. So I don't mind sharing it. We just need to know in advance and how the protocols, if anybody does want to come to practice, because they're going to have security and all those kind of things as we move forward. So, but yes, getting you guys a copy is not a problem at all.
And how many players are we talking about here that got the pads going in starting on Saturday?
Nobody's going to be in past Saturday. It's just like anything else. You got your acclimation period as far as just wearing our helmets the first 3 days. We won't get into pads until that following Saturday.
Oh, okay.
So we're kind of going about that process. Now, that process is going to kind of be a juggernaut for us coaches because, you know, with the stipulations and the BC protocols and all of that and the government, we can only have 50 people on the field at a time. So with us having 85 guys right now, what we're going to do is we're going to split practices. We're going to go offense on air for an hour and a half, defense on air for an hour and a half that first week, so we can start some installations and kind of start to get some schemes and just kind of move around with the helmet and those kind of things. And then next weekend, right, we're going to put the shoulder pads on and go half pack, and we're going to start crossing over with practices. So what we'll do is we have like a red team of offense and a red team of a red team offense, a black team of offense. So we're splitting them up so they go against each other. So we'll have a put together offense with a put together defense so we can get some good on good reps. But we're going to split those, and those will be in 2 hour-and-a-half sessions of practices. So a lot of guys will get a lot of reps. Our coaches will get to see everybody with very, you know, they'll get a real good view of what we have and what we're dealing with and how we're moving forward. And it's going to be exciting. It's going to be hard because it's not been done before, right, as far as what we're all dealing with. But I can say one thing, we've got great help because Coach Erdman has brought in Mr. Dave Henderson from the BC Lions, and we're getting all these protocols set up with equipment, and everybody's just on the same page. Coach Erdman, you can elaborate more onto that too, since you're hands-on with this process.
Yeah, it's as we all know, this the state that we're in right now, it brings certain challenges. But you know, I love what we're doing. Like I said, like Coach said, Dave Henderson's coming in and doing equipment. He's got a boatload of experience and stuff like that. So right now, as you all understand, the keynote is safety and making sure, you know, our players are safe, our coaches are safe. It's a tough situation, as we all know, like Nick Saban and Trump, that like probably two of the most protected guys in the North America have tested positive. And you know, Coach Riggs has done a great job of implementing systems that we are going to be safe. And that's how we got to go on. Is it ideal how we're practicing? No. But is it ideal in the new situation? Yes. So we just got to adapt. And I think Coach Riggs has done an awesome job of setting the protocols in place that we can be successful.
Great. Thank you, Jerome.
Yeah.
Coach just joined it.
And 1 second, and to add with that, I definitely want to make sure that Taylor Summers is in that process as well, because he's done a great job as well, administration-wise, facility-wise, and just hands-on as well. So I want to make sure that, you know, with me and Erdman and Durazio, that Coach Summers is getting that credit as well.
So as you're moving forward after the 16 practices, you're going to have a break. And then what happens in the wintertime? When's the actual season going to start? Have you heard from the GNAC?
We have heard from the GNAC. I know they're still in discussions. They're still working on it. The basic fact is we're not going to be able to play in the spring because it's not feasible, and it makes no sense for us to play in the spring because nobody is going to play that many games when you have to turn around and play in the fall again. It just doesn't make any sense. And really where we're at as a program, we wouldn't be ready, or would we be able to sustain coming back to play in the fall if we played a spring type schedule of that type of magnitude. Now, what we are open to doing is, and a lot of that also was built on that Western isn't going to be a part of it. Azusa Pacific can't be a part of it, whatever their reasons are. So now it's just us in Central. So I'm not going to go and try and just plan a game with Central and work on an autonomy schedule because it's just not in the right benefit for our young men. I'd rather take the whole year. We get to get a full another spring in. So when they come back, we'll start the process over again. We'll go that 6 to 8 week training again, people coming back from the holidays. then we'll get back to doing, again, another spring ball. So we're going to get a full 32 practices in before we even go to the summer. And if you guys know what that is, that's very valuable and that's very much needed. So we're really excited about that process, right? We can kind of find out who our guys are. We're really in a unique situation where, as I told our freshmen, I told our team, you haven't been in a situation where you get to come to a university and get a whole year of prep and get your body prepped and mind prepped to play. Normally you get here and you got 3 weeks and we're only really looking at you for a week and then you're with the scout team unless you really show up and show out kind of thing, right? So the best thing right now is our guys are getting healed and our guys are getting stronger. I mean, we're really grinding them right now. Now there's still a lot of work that needs to be done, so I'm not, not counting the chickens yet, but I'm just saying we got a lot of work to do, but our guys are showing up and they're excited about being there because that's the only outlet they have besides the regimen of going to class online and getting out of their room. Even when they get some food, they got to eat back in their room. So it's a good time for them to let loose and get some of that bottled up energy out of them.
Now, in terms of season of play, are the kids have an extra year of eligibility then, since there's no seasons of play? Is that clarified with the GNAC?
Yes, that is clarified with the GNAC and the NCAA overall. So nobody will lose any eligibility. Everybody is good to go. So if you are a senior in your 10th semester, you're actually going to benefit. You're going to get a year. You just get that. That's just the times we're dealt with. And the same benefit if you were a redshirt guy or whatever year you are. You're not burning nothing. So why waste it on a 4 and 5 game season of making up teams where you don't have really no rivals, those kind of things? And why not wait for it to the next year in the fall, especially when you're starting off playing Idaho? I mean, that's enough in itself. You're starting off with that FCS game, and we know what it looked like when we played last time with Portland State. Our guys are understanding how physical not only our league is, but if you really want to play that FCS game, you got to understand, you got to be ready to go because that's what they do, right? So I think our guys are really excited about the opportunity, and they're just focused on getting better, learning new playbooks, learning new schemes, and just getting out there to be kids again and do what they're used to doing and on their new normal.
So this will be my final question. Then I'll start calling different alumni. Coach, in terms of recruiting, and because there's no high school football this year at this time, there's no decision yet, how is your recruiting practice happening here?
Our recruiting practice is just like normal right now. We're still making the phone calls. We're still making the rounds, still gathering the information.
Coach.
Steve? Yes. Jamie, you say something? Oh, okay. Our guys are going the rounds. We're doing everything our coaching staff can do. We're getting all that information, letting everybody know who we're interested in. We're still offering guys. We still know who the guys are for the most part. We've had them on our list before, so we've already put out a lot of offers. If you guys have seen on Instagram and all the social media outlets. One thing is not going to change, like Coach Ford said. We're going to make sure that we lock down our backyard. That's what we're trying to do. So we want to make sure we get all the BC kids, and we're now stretching our wings with Coach Erdman all the way to Toronto. He's done a great and an excellent job of knowing who we're looking for. It's been a great blessing for me to make him the recruiting coordinator because I know he knows what he's doing. I know he's on top of it. He knows the kids. I know he knows what the kids need. That's what I love about it. I don't have all the answers, coming to this country and knowing all the answers and what the kids need, what the kids want, what the families need and what the families want. And again, he does know. Jay Prepcheck knows. Jordan Lennon knows. Those guys know. So, again, Coach Erdman can elaborate more on that because he's doing a hell of a job of making sure that we tighten it up even tighter than when I had it and I was the recruiting coordinator.
So, Jerome, you want to speak to the high school recruits in BC and other areas in the country?
Yeah, I mean, you're always looking for a silver lining, right? So the silver lining with COVID, with the border situation, and what Coach Riggs and Coach Taylor said, and that's one of the reasons why I came on is like, hey, we've got to get back to recruiting a lot of Canadians, get back to our basic roots of what SFU was founded on. They're in 100%, which is great. So we're hammering BC recruits hard. The other thing is now because of the border situation, instead of recruiting JUCOs, which we still are, but it's a little bit more difficult. But now we're going to CEGEP. We're going out to Ottawa, which is Canadian version of a JUCO. So we're getting the kids, the English-speaking CEGEPs out there, which is a great talent. They don't lose any eligibility for going there, and we get them coming in older. So it's exactly like a JUCO situation. And we're recruiting Canada hard.
Well, speaking of that, Jerome, can I ask, since you and Jay are alumni SFU, are you tapping any of the alumni across the country?
Of course. I know it's going to be a dirty thing, but I'm tapping my UBC connections too, like Jim Cooper, who is a UBC alumni. He's coaching out in Ontario right now. He's given me a list of recruits now that, maybe, that are getting but that we're recruiting. So everything is fair game right now. So we're turning over every stone. We're looking for talent, Canadian talent right now. And we've made, even down in the States, there's a lot of kids down in Clearwater that are at the prep schools and stuff like that we're in touch with. We want to bring them back home. We have something to offer that no other Canadian school can offer, especially in today's climate, where you can go down and play NCAA football and still be removed with some of the craziness that's down there. And we're pumping that. And we've had a really, really good feedback from that. So, our coaching staff is all on board, and I think we can be really successful with that tact.
Thank you, Coach Erdman. And I do appreciate the fact that you're back in the alumni as a coach, and as well as Jay Prepchuk. Thank goodness he took off those UBC colors, and hopefully he doesn't wear his fluorescent red shirts and shoes and stuff to be so flamboyant.
That's coming.
You know it.
Yeah.
So I'll ask a different alumni. I'll start with Jamie Clayton. Jamie, you have questions for Coach Regal and Coach Erdman.
Yeah, Coach, thanks a lot, guys, for taking the time to give us some information and just sort of update us. Can you tell me, I guess, who are all the coaches that you have right now that are with the program?
Hey, so you guys know
Summers, we know about Erdman, we know, right? But
you know Erdman, you know DeRazio. We have Jordan Lennon, who's back on our staff. Obviously, you guys just talked about it. We have Preppy on the staff now, right? He'll be coaching quarterbacks. Lennon will be back in the secondary again. Erdman will be at the linebackers. Summers at the D-line. I'll stay with wide receivers. DeRazio will be with the O-line, of course. We're working on still manufacturing the tight ends coach. We're working on possibilities of a lot of coaches that, if they don't have that high school season, that we've entertained conversations with. But really our new coach that we've had on is really just Michael Spencer. And he's a young guy, really just getting his feet wet. So he's in a GA type position for us when you're talking about, seeing if this coaching field and those things are going to work for him. But he's done a great job. He's going to coach the running backs. I'm going to take him underneath my wing and not throw him to the wolves. And he's doing great stuff for us in the administrative part and just making sure that he can help with any kind of technical or technology things we need as far as data entry, making sure that he keeps Coach, DeRazio stuff updated, doing that GA role, but coaching the running back. So besides that, they're not really letting us have any more coaches because right now it's, you're going through the pandemic and there's, you're not the priority when you're talking about sports when you got basketball breathing down admin's neck and those kind of things. So again, right now we're still just really just doing our lifeline of getting as much help and support as we can. But besides that, it's just us, and that's why we're talking about it's going to be real crazy with trying to run two separate practices, and just making sure that we evaluate these kids to the best of our ability and making sure that they get a fair evaluation of what's going on. What I like now is everybody's got to learn something new. And I like that our coaches don't know our guys and our guys don't know our coaches besides me and Summers in Lennon. So for that, everybody, whether you started off good, you still got to continue to prove that. And if you didn't have a good start, you felt like you were in the doghouse, now you're on a fair slate. So I think we're going in the right direction, and we're just all excited about it.
Oh, and where's Coach Spencer from?
Coach Spencer is from – Coach Irvin, can you help me with that one?
Yeah,
I know he played at UBC. He's a local guy.
He was a Centennial kid. He went to Centennial, and then actually he was out in Bishops for a while, and then he came back to UBC and finished off there. And then I think he might have had some junior experience, but now he's with us.
Okay, cool, awesome.
Any other questions, Jamie? Before I go on, I got
a few here.
Okay.
So, Coach, is there any update on sort of what's happening with the new locker room?
We have not heard any information about that. I know they're working on stuff. That's all I hear right now. To be honest, I know that the stadium still has a bunch of stuff on it that they're working on. So I really haven't had a chance to really get involved in any of that. And I haven't heard any new news.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I can say
Do you know, so are you guys in your current locker room, or is that off limits?
Everything is off limits. Our guys are strictly coming straight from their rooms, coming in, checking in through the main gym part, going right out to the field, and then right after, we're sending them right home. There's no changing, no laundry, no nothing. We're doing the laundry for them, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The school's not doing the laundry?
Yeah, the school, we're not doing the laundry right now because no facilities are open to do the laundry. So no teams are getting their laundry done, nothing. Because once you start opening and doing laundry, then you got to start opening locker rooms. And that right now, they're just trying to keep everything and keep everybody out of all the buildings as much as possible.
So the kids got to wash all their old stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But we've got them enough. One thing we've done is we've got them a lot more gear, so they have no excuses about wearing enough gear.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
That's good. That's good.
I just want to add one thing. It's just like Coach Riggs mentioned before, like Coach Summers has done a great job. He's been like the point man of organizing, because I'll be totally honest with you, the school, and rightfully so, is making us jump through hoops to make sure this is safe. So it's been a logistic and, nightmare. But Coach Summers has done a great job of trying to facilitate us so that we can get through this. But I won't lie to you, it's a nightmare, but it's going to be well worth it.
Yeah, for sure, right? If you guys can keep going and keep everything going, and everybody's going to be safe, and then when it comes to next fall, then hopefully, things are a little bit eased up. Maybe we got to whatever, right? But
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With back in the locker room real quick, Coach. So all this stuff, have you guys been able to go in, like the coaches, are you able to go in the locker room? I'm just kind of concerned about what's happening with, like, we have all those alumni plaques that are up on the lockers. We have the Bernie picture, jersey and stuff. I don't know. Mark, did you get that jersey? Bernie's?
Yeah, we had that framed a number of years ago through obviously some funds that we fundraised. So,
but is it still in the locker room?
It should still be in there. It's it's behind glass.
Yeah, I know. So I guess I'm just concerned about what's happening with that stuff. Do you know of any plans in the locker room for that stuff at all, Coach?
I have no idea of no plans or nothing of what's going on in the locker room. Like I said, they haven't talked to us about any of that information just because we've been trying to make sure we can practice done. You know what I mean?
Right.
So nobody has told us nothing. Nobody has informed us about, like I said, I haven't even had a real visual of it. The only thing I've still seen about the locker room is the same stuff that we were seeing when we got the stuff from Thomas.
Right. You cooking dinner there, Coach?
Yeah, I'm cooking it. My grill turned on fire, but I got it. I caught it. I was talking to you guys and I forgot about my steaks on my.
Coach can
Damn
multitask.
it.
You can multitask. There you go.
Too bad.
But I'll tell you
That's
guys right
horrible.
now, I still do it right now, just so y'all know.
Wow.
Okay, I still got it. I still got it. I still got it.
Nice.
Really good.
Is there anything that you need from us, like at this time? Do you think?
I'll let Erdman answer because I think you'll get a person, an answer that is somebody that's came in and not, that knows the background of where SFU's came from and stuff and being a part of the fabric. And then I'll answer at the end. So Coach Erdman, I'll leave that to you right now. Give them that outsider's perspective.
Okay. Well, it's the same that you always say money, right? Money. But other than that, skipping the obvious, is we've got a lot of alumni that are out in the community. Give us names of players. I mean, I know as an alumni myself, we say, oh, we want to get local guys in. Shoot me an email. You can get our info on the website if you don't have my personal info. Get us players and we'll talk to guys and stuff like that. We need to get a positive aspect in the community with players and stuff like that. But other than that, it's like we all know money. Yeah. All the programs that I've been with that have been successful, we found there's a sugar daddy, for lack of a better term. SFU-Football needs a sugar daddy that we can do so many things, like coming in, like Coach Riggs and Coach Summers have done a great job. To say it is, like, I'll totally be honest with you, we did not have an equipment manager. You have a coach trying to fit equipment during a game and during practices, and you cannot have that if we want to be successful at Div 2. We've got to have funds that we can have an equipment guy, stuff like that.
Used to have that.
There's just no other way around it. That it's a financial aspect that's gonna help us, put us over the top and let us do other things. Plain and simple. I'm sorry, that's just what it is.
And it's no different than Jerome than when any of us were there as well, right?
Well, but we used to have,
for sure.
we used to
had
have
Kipper,
an actual
right?
equipment guy. We used to have an equipment guy that was actually paid and was,
Exactly. But right now, and the thing that, I'll be honest with you guys, that surprises me is, the liability aspect. If you're having a coach that doesn't have training and you're fitting a helmet and God forbid something happens, the kid gets a concussion or something hurt, then it's a liability issue on us. And, that's just the state of how things are right now. We need more funds. Like the stadium/stands is a huge aspect. That's great. But we still need more. We still need ideas on how to raise funds and all that, because bottom line, as you all know, is we have to have more capital into the program for us to be successful.
Can I ask a question, guys? Frank, if that's okay?
Yeah,
Just along the financial lines, I'm just curious about the freshmen and coming in. Have we had to honor their scholarships coming in at this point, freshmen?
Yes.
Oh, you have, Mike. Okay.
Yes, we've had to honor everything. We've even had to honor the scholarship of guys that have opted out, which we have 10 guys opted out. Right now we have 85 guys coming to practice on an everyday basis. We have 95 guys on the program. Now, you know what I mean? We want to bring in by January, we hope to bring in another 5 to 10 guys and know that 105 or that 100, few walk-ons is going to be what we have, because you're not going to get JUCO kids this year in the States or none of that, because they're going to play in the spring, right? So, and then now we're going to find out we're not going to have to bring more than 15 to 20 kids in this next semester, because we're going to already have everybody getting another year, right? So we don't need that log jam. Now, it's great if we can have 115, 120, because now we can really get some good work in. But now we're talking about our locker room size isn't big enough for that. So you're trying to find the fine median in there, right? So, because you guys we're gonna always lose a few guys to academics. We're gonna lose a few guys to just in general, right? That don't want to play and quit.
Mike, do you feel that you're getting good support from the administration, from our athletic directors, senior administration, and is there a special fund that we might be able to tap into? A COVID fund of some sort.
Yeah, I you know what? To be honest with you, I think Teresa's done a great job. To be honest with me,
yeah,
she's been upfront with me. Now, I know there's a lot of things she needs to still work on, but I know she's dealing with everybody's programs and all those kind of things. And like I said, we've talked about my extension already and trying to work on that. So she's been very upfront with that. And because, next month I'm expired, so we need to know where that's going. But she's done a great job from what I know. And she's
so you feel you're being very supported by them then, are you?
Yes. Yeah. I feel, I hear her and Bree have done a great job of trying to even let us do the practice, because everybody doesn't want to let us do it, but they understand how valuable we want to change this program around and what we're trying to do to change this program around.
Well, it sounds morale is right up, which is fantastic from everybody's perspective, especially us, the alumni. I'm just curious, and again, administrative types of things, how often are you having to adjust your COVID plan? Like, are you having to submit plans every couple of weeks or something like that to administration?
Well, yes, we had to submit a whole plan. You think about it, we had to submit a whole training plan and practice plan we've implemented just to make sure it fits BC government, it fits NCAA compliance, it fits GNAC conference rules.
Right.
And we're always having to change the contingency plan based on if anybody gets sick, if anything happens, if this and this, that. So we're always trying to be ahead of the game. I mean, it's a little, it's harder, it's been hard, like Coach Erdman said, it's not, because you think it's one thing one day. We've just really got to start talking about offense the last week because we've been doing all the other stuff, right? So something has to take a back seat right now, and it's the football side, because we need to make sure the safety side is taken care of, handled, those kind of things. But I think we're getting great support, and I think any kind of fund is going to help us right now, right? There's equipment issues we need to get, on-field equipment stuff. We're talking about all this recruiting stuff. We're doing a great job in recruiting, and we're really not giving these kids what they're really worth, because we're not, we're just not fully funded with scholarships, and we understand we're all working with it. And that's what we like about you guys. You guys ask us those questions. We're down to we want to get our hands dirty with you coaches. We want to know who we can call, who we can set up conversations with that can help the process out. They might want to talk to DeRazio. I know they want to talk to Prep Check and Erdman, so we're all into finding out what is the best way to move forward so we can continue to do what we want to do and get this program going in the right direction, which I feel we're putting our best foot forward right now.
Hey, listen, for me, thank you very much, all you guys. You coaches, especially here tonight, you guys are, from my perspective, doing a great job. You're obviously working long hours. I had dinner 2 hours ago. So, hey, listen, thank you very much, you guys, and keep up the good work.
I know Jamie's had a question. Mario's had a question. We got Bruce and Mark still left before we end this conversation. And because we did talk about 45 minutes, it's 7:42 right now. So, Mark Bailey, you're up.
Okay, first off, Frank, thank you so much for leading the call. Coach Erdman and Coach Regel, thank you so much for taking the time this evening. As already spoken about, I know you guys have very busy schedules. So thank you so much. Kudos to you, Coach Regel, and all the excellent hires that you've had. Coach Erdman, Coach Prepchuk, I know not on the call, but it's great to see our, Clan alumni and SFU alumni now, however we refer to ourselves as, back on the hill, obviously doing great things. My question, keep it short. I know we're trying to stay in a timely manner. Frank, I know you did that on purpose, put me to the end, so I don't talk too long. Either way, I'm still thinking about what Coach Regel's steak tastes like, but at the same time too, I think I also heard Coach Erdman, when speaking about Coach Summers, was such a good job he was doing with parameters. I think you, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you referred to him as leading the boy band. However, moving along the agenda, I want to know, Coach Rigel, is there any things in place, whether it's through your coaching staff and or administration, like how is the mental health right now with these players? You talk about they go right from their dorms or their rooms straight to practice, and they don't go to class. They're not socially interacting, such as the rest of the province and or country in many situations. I know we had an alumni on the Hill recently called me in, to be honest with you, concerned. He met one of his alumni from high school that he played at just for lunch to catch up, and said that his mental health isn't going so well for him right now. And it was great that we did have an alumni available to him from his high school to meet up with him and just check in and see how he's doing. I mean, I do know that Coach Summers in the past has made a point of mentioning about us alumni maybe getting in touch with some of the players and just kind of reaching out and checking in and seeing how they're doing. I know that I think that we could probably do better on our part in that regard, but I mean, I don't know if there's something in place already. Like, obviously, you know, without having to say it, I mean, we're unprecedented times. So, for the livelihood and the best well-being of your players, I'm wanting to know if there's anything that they have in place for that.
Yeah, we have, our athletes in general at SFU have voiced their concern, and we do have now, admin has hired a part-time athletic, admin counselor there. His name is Charles Law. So now he is a service to all the athletes. It's just like anything else you set up, just like you set up for your tutoring. You send an email to him. He gets back to you within 24 to 48 hours. And it goes from there. Now, just with the confidentiality, coaches are kind of kept out of that because they don't want that to play in the overall process of how we think about a specific athlete. But if it comes to something really serious, we know about it. One thing I can say about our football team personally is our coaches are really in tune with our guys. Our coaches, we're having Zoom meetings. We're doing all that for ourselves. We're making sure that the mental health stays right for our guys as well as the mental health stays well for our coaches, right? I mean, these are long days. This is difficult timing. We don't realize, even as being grown men, that this is difficult timing. As you guys know, being high school coaches, we're not in our normal right now, right? We're trying to find things to do for those few hours. And obviously in our situation, which we're blessed, we're trying to find extra stuff to do or extra stuff not to do, right? To cut back and whatnot. But our guys are fully engaged. When we do have a guy that has any type of mental health or it seems like they're spiraling out of control, we're on top of them. Our kids are smart enough and they're comfortable enough because it's transparent we've been to come talk to us. My door is always open. Any of our coaches' door has always been open. I've been the football mental counselor on our team for the last 2 years anyway. So me now being head coach, the relationship hasn't changed. It's not like that. They don't feel like they can talk to me or my staff for that matter. Because, again, we've always erred on the safety before football. Like I said, we just started really getting into football and talking scheme here this past week. So all it's been is just following protocols, appreciating the people that are doing things for you that you don't know about and that care about you, making sure that you're handling your academics so you can continue to be here. So we're doing all the off the field things right, but proof is still in the pudding at the end of the day, that our kids are open with us and that I like to make sure that my coaches are very involved in our kids' lives. They're checking on their academics. They're checking on their well-being. I'm making sure coaches, I don't have to make sure because I have an experienced staff, but our coaches are always asking our guys how they're doing, how they're feeling, what's going on. We can BS with them a little bit. They just know we crossed that line. We got in a limited amount of time. We got stuff we got to do, right? So, and they respect that. And they respect authority and they respect having some organization and they expect knowing that they're enjoying that. They know we really care about them more than just football. We really care about what's going on in their lives.
Thank you, Coach. Bruce, do you have a final question for Coach?
Not so much a question, Frank. It's just, happy to see that Coach Riggs is on top of it. When things are going well, it's pretty easy to manage out there. I work from home mostly these days, like a lot of guys like me, but I can go downtown, and I was downtown yesterday at my office, and it's just a ghost town down there. Like, you're lacking that energy that would drive anything forward, whether it's business or athletics. So good for you for being on top of it. And I see Jerome, Coach Erdman, back in the fold. Happy to see that. His side hustle with his ZZ Top tribute band probably is kind of going slow right now. And so
oh, come on, give me props. That's not bad. I'll be able to braid it soon. I'll be able to braid it soon, man.
But I think you touched on a little bit. When I played there, I mean, we got big galoots like Frank out from Niagara Falls, and to recruit back east and get guys out to SFU, that used to be a big thing, as Frank Roberto knows better than anybody. And so to get those guys thinking about it, and I realize the CIS or U Sports is a lot bigger deal out there. It's tougher to recruit, but SFU's got something special to offer. And I think the more that gets pounded home, the more those guys come out. And I tell you, those Canadians like to be in Canada, plus they get to play NCAA football. That's why we all went there in the late 70s.
Right. No, I totally agree.
Go ahead, Coach.
I totally agree with that. I think, we appreciate your guys' support. One thing I want to leave you guys with, the reason we're talking about this money thing too a lot is just because soccer got another donation of $1 million recently, and they gave $400,000 to the men's soccer and $400,000 to the women's soccer. So that's where everybody is all kind of losing their mind right now, and our admin and all that, because they're getting this soccer donation from whoever this person is. So, but anyways, that's beside the point. So that's what we're talking about with the resources. And then I want to make sure that I end it with, just so you guys know, we have 17 offers out, and 10 of them are from BC. So we are going to make sure that we take care of home, and we have a lot more offers coming out this week from BC as well.
Great. Thank you very much for this evening, Coach Erdman, Coach Rigel, alumni. Have a great night, and we'll do it again some other time. Thanks, for everyone. Have a good night.
Have a good evening, fellas.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.